Hello, Victor. Nice of you to visit. So, we are talking about Hatchet.
We're going to be talking about Hatchet, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
God,
I
I
can't
don't know. It
believe
was
you finally just now seen it.
yeah, I watched it again. Was it yesterday? I watched it again yesterday, and yeah, brilliant. I love the camera work on this.
Yeah, Will Barrett, he's fucking amazing.
Like,
and he's so versatile too. Like you would never be able to tell what movies he's done because he's able to just fully engulf into the vision's director and everything. Amazing.
Yeah, that's what we need more of. Just people that love it. But yeah, I just picked this up randomly. I know we had talked about it for ages, and I'd meant to pick up all four of them. And then it was just out one day, and it was in the second. There's a secondhand chain over here called CEX, and it's all secondhand Blu-rays and DVDs and box sets, and it does games. You know what I mean? It's just all reconditioned stuff. And I started, because I'm down the main town, I started poking my nose in. I'm like, bargain was like £2 or something. I'm like, I'm having that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're stupid not to pick it up if you don't.
Yeah. I had no idea. Like, this is honestly like every well-known horror actor decided we all want to be in a movie together. How do we do this?
Well, it's so funny because like it literally all stems from Kane Hodder. Like the backstory
He's a
is
stunt coordinator as well. He's like
yeah,
massive part of this movie, not just starring in it.
Oh yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, this is actually the first film he had done a fire stunt in since his accident. I don't quote me on that, but I believe so. Like that's the thing with this movie. Like I know so much shit about this series that I confuse it sometimes with like individual movies. But yeah, man, like it's kind of funny going over your notes because it's like, oh my god, he really needs to see the sequels. So there's a lot of answers to these questions you pose. Yeah, man, this is just good. Like the title on, or like the description on the movie says, just classic American horror. It's fucking great. So great.
Yeah, I remember. I was obviously in another podcast. You had read a segment. Was it from the graphic novel or from the?
No, that was from the script.
From the script. Yeah, you had actually read out the first scene. And yeah, that's got me interested. But I just never, no way one of them things keep past you by. I was like, right, gotta do this, gotta do this. So here we are. But yeah, because with Kane Hodder, with Tony Todd, Robert Englund, absolute legend, and the fact that these people are happy to take side roles and not be the main characters, like almost cameos. It's like fair play to you.
Oh yeah, well, it's like Robert Englund, if I remember correctly. He was only on set for like an hour and a half. They had him for like 2 seconds, and he's got like one of the most powerful roles in the movie.
Yeah, you got that old school sort of the swamps of Louisiana, and they're all and the set for this is brilliant. Like honestly, I think that they've obviously blended it in with the location, but in the back of your head, part of this is a set, but they've shot it so well that it really does blur.
Yeah, man, that's one thing in all 4 of the movies thus far they've been able to pull off. Because it's like each movie, the budget got less and less, so they're able to do less and less, but you still get the same feel of, just this first one.
Fantastic. Yeah, that'll be. I think that might be a recurring thing.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have to. I'm so excited for you to watch the sequels.
Just the way him and his son are like bantering and that, and I friggin' hate that word. The keyword. It's just it's always was a slur, and I hate the way it's bandied about now. It just always sets my teeth in the edge.
Yeah.
Just but then again, once there's Chris on, hey man,
hey, wonder where the hell you were. Shit.
Yeah, it's like the stream is not complete. There's no Chris.
It's gonna write and be like, hey man, are you okay? Haven't heard from me yet, bud.
But once again, using this language it has context,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what really pisses me off about the PC brigade today. Is this is not being said calling somebody a queer is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like both the characters get their comeuppance. Well, the dad gets his comeuppance. I mean, they're victims, but still, they're not celebrated,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. You know what I mean? That's good to use language like that because at least it lets you see that it's not done in a complimentary way or it's
Mm-hmm.
not acceptable. I just we had all that shit sorted out, you know what I mean, in the 90s, and these fucking idiots today just it's like they're trying to go back. Oh, we need to go back to when bring the tensions all back so we can refix it. You're like, how about do something useful with your life, you
Mm-hmm.
freaking morons? But hey,
Right. It's like I understand, having your own identity and that's important to you and shit, but it's like shut the fuck up.
yeah, but let's. I think it's we use certain words in the UK. It's really offensive over there, but that word queer has always been a slur, and I just every time I hear somebody say, it, I just you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like rappers throwing the M word about it. It's like yeah,
That,
it's not a
honestly,
nice word,
man,
so there's no
yeah,
reason to use it.
that's pretty much how I hear it. And it's like I get it because just like how they reappropriated it for, I hate to say in a positive spin, but like it's their word now, not the
But it doesn't work.
super bigoted words.
It
But it's
actually
like
stokes more division. If it's a horrible word, just leave it as a horrible word. Don't use it.
mm,
Don't
yeah, it's
denigrate
like
yourself.
yeah, just leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, but hey ho, never change words. But another thing as well, this has done great for our KPIs because the first 5 of this movies, we have our booby quota for the entire
Yeah,
year. Like
yeah.
we need not show another booby ever for this year, and we're sorted. Like,
Yeah, well, it's funny too because it pretty much covers all the boobs for the entire franchise.
but also it kind of messes with the trope a bit because normally in a horror movie, if you get your boobs out, you're dead.
Mhm.
But it must be in this movie, if you get your boobs out more than 5 times, you're dead. You know, they've kind of changed the rules a bit.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I could smell that scene, the Mardi Gras scene.
yeah,
I could actually smell the sweat and vomit and stale beer. And I'm like, oh
mhm.
my God.
Yeah, and that's just the natural funk of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Like the only difference between their depiction of Mardi Gras and like just a standard Thursday through Sunday night is there was more beads. Like I've been there, not during Mardi Gras. And yeah, like Thursday night comes, there's a fucking jazz band that plays the cars out of the fucking French Quarter, and it's just nothing but fucking rich white kids getting fucking shit faced in the streets. It is miserable.
Yeah, just not. Even when I was a kid, I had no interest in that sort of stuff. Like, I never liked the clubbing scene or anything. You know, I was
Mm.
never interested. Uh, I like my comfort.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting down and dirty, but as long as I can get cleaned afterwards, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's uh, I think I've told this story before, but I remember one of the times I was flying over to your neck of the woods, and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, the flight.
Hmm.
And of course, you're in the airport. It's only right you have a beer.
Yeah, of course.
But all the British people are like sipping away on a pint. And sure enough, the American arrives staggering through the thing.
Hmm.
Hey, man, you can drink it this time. It's like, yeah, it's always been that way. Calm yourself down. And sure enough,
Right.
fucking some chick in the you can actually smell, like, you know, it's actually coming out of the port. You're like,
Oh,
bloody hell,
damn.
how have you done this? At, like, you know what I mean, you've got a whole flight to get through.
Right. You wait until you do it on the plane because it's infinitely cheaper because of the altitude. It's like I can put some drinks away, but I get on a plane, I have a double scotch, and I fucking sleep the entire way there. Like
Oh, there's Brotherhood of the Dice on. Yeah, mate, we're back. I'm trying to trying to get back into the swing of things. I've already
he's
made like
doing better than he thinks he's doing right now.
freaking I've already made about 6 mistakes already. Freaking up left,
Nah,
right, and
just one
center.
and it was funny.
Yeah. uh-uh. It's amazing when you're just trying to get back into the whole zone again. It's like, how do you do this?
Yeah. How do things work?
Yeah. That's right. I have to try and look professional. Oh dear. Oh well. Good thing people know the standards of this show.
Right.
There are none. Yeah, I just don't get that. I'm all for having a good time, but when you're actually making a complete arse of yourself,
Yeah,
just
it's like comes a point in time when you have to just grow up at least a little bit.
Those
I'm
was
still
the help.
waiting for
Like
that scene.
I'd been drinking since what 12 or 13. You know what I mean? We're
Mhm.
rat bag kids. That's what we did. So by the time I was 18, I was like a refined adult.
Mhm.
I came to the bar. Do you know what I mean? Because you kind of had it out of your system. So I didn't even do the street corner. You know, why kids would hang around street corners. We never did that. It was always let's sit in somebody's house because fuck that. It's cold out there.
Right.
And the drinking from the can business and stuff. It was like, nah, you know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
a real night crawler
that's when you
stuff.
know you've grown up is when you stop drinking out of the can.
But I remember like there's a bar at the top of my street, and everyone had like they left the kegs at the back, and everyone like be able to, just to get the last drag, and you're more covered in beer than the actual couple of mouthfuls you got and stuff. It was just especially July time, everyone went nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, tapping kegs, it's a very messy procedure.
Yeah. Oh, you're like 7 or 8 years of age, dude. It's not. Fuck, we were feral. And we're still more dignified than these idiots in the Mardi Gras scene.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like I said, like that's a pretty apt depiction of just the scene down there.
Yeah, and
It's like
when was
right.
this? I forgot the year this was made.
This was made in 2006, released 2007.
Yeah, it's got that 2005 about it.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, it's opens up with the some Manson when Manson, well, after Manson was good, and now it started having his decline in
I feel
musical
sorry for
abilities.
Marilyn Manson fans.
Why?
They're just holding on to something that hasn't been there for freaking years.
Dude, I don't get it. Like, I fucking love Manson's music. I do. But everything after Hollywood has just been trash. Like, I don't get it. And I'll talk to other Manson fans and they try to explain why it's good. And it's just like, no, man, you're doing just that. You're holding on to something that's not actually there.
Yeah, you're reaching. It's like, calm down. But when did Manson and metal music become the theme tune for the frat boy? Because that did become a thing in the 2000s.
You know what? I honestly think, because after you sent these notes over, I was like, when the fuck did that become a thing?
It did become a
I
thing.
gotta say, the only thing I can think is because, and bear with me, professional wrestling. Because everybody used to watch it back in the day. I mean, it's starting to come back in
Wrestling's fault for
popularity.
everything. I stick by that statement.
What's that?
I blame wrestling for everything wrong in the world, as you know.
I mean, I fucking love wrestling. Used to love wrestling. Not so much anymore. Now it's just too much talking. But like I honestly think that's it, because this is about the era where everybody had sort of like a metal-y type intro. I mean, fuck, there were people at this time that had Motorhead writing intros for them. So it's like I kind of feel like it's that. I mean, the whole reason why that's in there is because Adam Green was like, I want a damn good song for the intro. I want Manson to do it. Reached out to him personally and was like, of course I can't go with, like The Beautiful People or something like that. It has to be something that's a little bit on the newer side, something that not everybody's used, because that's the opening of the film. That's what you're going to associate the film with. And though I don't like that album, I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, well, I get I get using the song and that, but it just reminded me that there was a period. This was a thing. The sort of idiots, like, they should have been playing like 90s, 2000s, all trance and electronic music over in the UK. It was a dance thing. So the sort of Mardi Gras types, if it was over, like, if it was Ibiza, it would all be dance tunes. There wouldn't be a hint of metal. But at one point, the metal music did become the sort of like frat boy thing, and it was a bit odd because it was one of those sort of, what are you doing here?
Dude, I don't know, man. I feel like it hasn't gone. I mean, look at bands like Five Finger Death Punch.
But they're almost like a parody band, though.
No, there's people that worship them.
But they even themselves, they know what they are. They're self-aware.
I don't know. I really don't know about that. Like it's hard to judge whether they actually are or aren't, because it's like at least the singer seems to like be very, very, very full of himself.
Well, that's kind of lead singers anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of comes with the job description.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just, you could just feel the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in this,
definitely.
the opening scenes.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, because like the rest of the movie and ultimately the rest of the franchise feels timeless. Like it could be anywhere. I mean, you know that it's post 2000s, but it doesn't feel like a specific time period except for that intro.
Yeah, and just seeing the seeing the festival part, once they step into the woods or into the swamp, then obviously just tone completely changes. Cool. But it didn't feel like they did it really well. Oh, there's Fleon as well. Good afternoon. The chat's filling up brightly.
Because it's Hatchet, man. Everybody loves Hatchet.
Yeah, that's it. It's nothing to do with us. But yeah, definitely the whole, like, I could picture this being, this could easily be, like I said, Tenerife or the streets of Spain. The holiday season is just. But one thing we definitely needed more of was Rev Zombie. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, we need to watch the sequels.
Tony Todd's just like, I'm not even trying here. I'm just going to camp it up and have a laugh. And like,
well, so that's the funny thing with Tony Todd's method. Like, he's notorious for, like, before they start shooting, going through and fucking with everything on the set just to get a feel for what feels right to him. And it seems like a lot of things that he's been in with Adam Green, that's the shit they use. It's almost like Nicolas Cage and the Notorious Cage take. Like, that's how Tony Todd is. And that tends to be what's used, is him just chewing the fucking scenery. And like him telling the story of how he got sued, like you're just riveted. Like, I've seen this movie countless times. Like, I really have no fucking clue. Like, I watch this at least 3 or 4 times a year, if not more. And still, every time it's hook, line, and sinker as he's telling it. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be good. It's like I already know what's gonna happen. What the fuck?
But you're still there in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, he's somebody you could picture sitting around a campfire with.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
He'd be the soothsayer. He'd be the storyteller, and you'd just be mesmerized. And
or he'd just talk about cats and food the whole time. Yeah. But either way, you'd be riveted.
And that's cool, what I mean? That's we don't get actors like that anymore. They're all wooden planks, and like, and you could see he was like invested in those. It wasn't an actor ego thing. There's a storyteller. There's someone that likes the, he would just be as comfortable in a group, like I said, around a campfire or 10 people. Some people are just naturally like that, and that's it. They get you murdered. I'd love to be like that. I'd love to take my game to that level where I could do that sort of thing with stories, but I keep falling flat. But yeah,
well, I think his thing is he was a theater nerd, like, so he's like a different kind of actor, and I think that's where a lot of that comes from.
Yeah, and it makes sense because you've no technology to help you really, and it's up to you and the people in the audience. That's all the best actors have had a theater background, because it's and it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
But you can just tell he was in the zone. Then you think he was on a stage, and you're like, brilliant. Like,
yeah, he's always so good at being able to play to the cheap seats without coming across like, wrestling. It's a beautiful fine line that he walks, and he does it so well.
Yeah, what was the last thing I saw him? The Final Wish. That was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one.
Shut up. Where's the kick? Where's the boot in the balls button here?
Hey, you know what? Everything I've seen him in, he was definitely in.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Do you know what they're talking about? Was it last year he's making another album or something? I'm like, well, at least if he's making music, he's not making movies.
God,
Like,
I can't remember. Did you ever watch Death Rider in the House of Vampires?
No. What was the one I watched and I was freaking texting you the whole way through?
Oh my God, yeah, Veronica.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Like,
again, I apologize for that, but
how many names did I call you? I called you
all of them. I learned some words that night, actually.
the fuck are you
No,
making me
so
watch this for, you bastard?
you gotta see House Rider in the or what the fuck? No, Death Rider in the House of the Vampire. I don't remember what the fuck it's called. It's not good at all. It's not quite as bad as Veronica. Close. Like, he needs an editor. He doesn't need to be the editor, is what I will say with that movie.
Oh dear.
And like Devon Sawa is in a completely different movie than everybody else, right? I think it was Devon Sawa that was in it. I'm gonna fucking do some clicky for a second.
Oh dear. No, well, thankfully we don't get any of this with this movie. It's just everyone's on board. And the thing is, as well, even with these, like, this is it's a straight up slasher, but once again, you're invested in the characters, even the side characters, and the fact that they let the younger ones get a moment to shine. Like, they could have easily been over, like, say, Tony Todd, Kane Hodder, Robert Englund. Have I missed anything? Was there someone else? There's another famous.
John Carl Beekler's in it.
Yeah.
Good old Jack Cracker.
So, you know what I mean? They could have easily been overshadowed.
But yeah, that's the magic of this movie or this franchise, really. Like, the cameos, they don't take anything away from it. And like, if you go in not knowing horror shit, you're just gonna appreciate it. And if you know it, you're like, cool. But it's not like it pulls you out of the movie at all.
No, and that's why I said at the beginning, it's like we want to be in a movie together and want to have some fun. Like, they're the last of a breed as well, if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Of old school horror actors who just love the genre. We're not even seeing that now. Like, who's apart from Jenna Ortega, who's really, and she's not even a full on horror, actress. She, you know what I mean, she does.
Yeah, she does
bit of
Scream.
everything.
That doesn't count.
No. Well, I was thinking of X. You know what I mean? She was in X.
Oh yeah, she was in X. I love Ty West and I love his movies, but I still don't know how I feel about that franchise.
Pearl made me, but
like, that was rough to watch.
like, the first one, brilliant. I like X. I like the concept of it. And once again, Adam, you are wrong.
It's all right. Everybody's allowed to have their wrong opinions.
I was saying that last night during the stream. I'm like, do you know what? It's useful knowing a reviewer who has wrong opinions, because then you know to avoid what they like. And it doesn't take away from them being a reviewer. You can respect them as a reviewer, but you just know they're wrong, so that they steer you in the right direction unintentionally. How many times have we been caught out now?
I absolutely love listening to the commentaries for Scream. Not a fan of the movies.
Yeah, it'd be better if it was just a commentary.
Well, dude, there
just been
one.
Like, let's not make the movie. Let's just do a commentary on horror. That probably would have sold better as a documentary.
Well, it's like there's one that I have on my phone. I want to say it was the editor of the first film, and just listening to him talk about it, it's like, this is a different movie than I've seen. Why didn't I see that?
Oh dear, good old Wes Craven.
Yeah.
He is either hit or miss with him. Like, he either makes a 20-year-long franchise or a dud.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm somebody that's watched all 4 Wishmaster movies, you know what I mean? I was still invested until, was it the 4th one where she granted the 3rd wish? But he couldn't grant it.
I honestly don't
remember. I Wish You Would Love Me. Remember that one?
Dude, it's
been I think I was the I think I was the 4th one. And he's like, love me. It's like, mate, I've got the social graces of a house brick, and I even know not to get on like that. But yeah, the whole, and you knew the wee guy who was doing the tours. You know he was up to something, and he was chancing his arm, and it's all, you know what I mean? There's nothing really surprising about this movie. That's the thing, but you're still invested and going along with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward A to B to C slasher. Like, it's super traditional in that sense. And like, yeah, it's just it's like popcorn. It makes you happy, it fills you up with zero nutritional value.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No,
That's because sometimes people can be forgiven when they see a lot of my reviews when I'm on my own that I'm a bit of a snob. But but then I'll love some of the cheesiest shit on the planet. You know, I think it's all about the intention of the movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like that is being a true horror fan, though. Like, you are a film snob. I mean, you look at shit like A24 movies. Like, those are pretentious fucking movies sometimes. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. You love it. Like, you know,
But you have to be in the zone. You have to be in a particular mood to watch an A24 movie.
It depends on the movie for me. Like, Hereditary came on the other night, and we just sat down and watched it. Like, it was just one of the, I don't even remember what we were on, just randomly popped up, and it's like, oh, yeah, I could watch it. And it just engrosses you the entire fucking time. But then, you know, next night, putting on something like this and enjoying ourselves just as much. Yeah, I think that's like I said, I think that's what being a true horror fan is.
Do you think that's the enigma of the horror fan that the other genres can't get their heads around? Because they really have a struggle with horror fans. Like, the other genres just can't get their heads around what we're about.
Well, I think it's because of the fact that horror it is just it's all encompassing. Like, you will get different genres in this one genre. Like, again, you know, A24, like, those are pretentious art films in most cases. You get shit like this. There's action in it. There's comedy in it. And, you know, that's one of the hardest sells with this was, you know, when the marketing team was making the trailers, it's like, if they lean too hard into the horror, people are going to be disappointed when it's funny. And if they show the jokes, then people are going to be fucking taken aback when there's some brutal ass death and gore. But of course, the true horror fans, you can see the trailer, and it's like you get the little hint of either in the trailer, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with. I think this is the problem as well. Everyone's trying to market to this broad base with and that's why movies are just grey now and bland and beige, and you can't market to everybody. Market to your base, and you've got a loyal following, and we're the idiots that'll buy a flipping bottle of perfume when it comes out 40 years later.
Yeah,
at 100 quid. Do you know what I mean? That's your long-term base, and then the enthusiasm for it is what brings other people in. It's like people with social media have forgotten that word of mouth still exists.
Yeah.
They think that they get the algorithm right on social media, and the same 10 people with 100 sock puppet accounts say it's okay, that that's the actual customer. And they're completely missing the point of just, you don't have to market to everybody, market to the base, and then the thing will take care of itself. And this is it. Like, there's loads of slashers I've panned because I feel like the movie's disrespecting me. I feel like they're treating me like I'm stupid, and I'm just going to swallow any shit. You know what I mean? And then I'm not a fan, but this, I didn't get that feeling at all. I just felt like, yeah, I'm making a horror movie. We want to make a fun movie. We're not doing anything spectacular, or we're not going to subvert any expectations. You know what you're getting, but we're going to have a bit of a blast along the way.
Yeah, they weren't trying to reinvent the wheel at all.
No, and I'm good with that. Why not? It was funny that Kane Hodder was playing his dad as well, you know, as Victor, playing the dual roles. You're like, yep, why not?
Well, and that was
part of it. Really good as the father.
That was part of the agreement with him coming on to this movie, because, you know, first-time filmmaker. I mean, not first-time filmmaker, but first-time filmmaker for the most part. And he's like, sure, I'll do it, but I want a face role. And he's like, obviously, yes, we'll give you a face role. And he reprises that a couple of times in the franchise.
He did it well, you know. It was a good role.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's a great actor. It's just you don't think about the fact that he's a great actor because he's always behind a mask.
Mm-hmm. I'm usually playing a silent sort of character,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and that's fair enough. And once again, you're not seeing ego here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like, oh, look at me. You can see it's not like Pedro Potato Head. You must see my face in case people forget me. Do you know what I mean? It's not that sort of silly shit.
Mm-hmm.
This works because obviously it makes sense. The father and son will have facial features. God, I was looking at photographs over last week there, and you can see freaking all the facial features
Mm-hmm.
of my family, and like the Costello side and the Martin side. You can just see like my grand and my great grand and all that. Like we've like mum had a whole thing of like black and white. Like I'm talking about, the flash camera, the one with
Oh
the
yeah.
freaking fluorescent bulb.
Yep.
Things taken with those.
Nice.
And you can see all our facial features, and then some of my older relatives popped up, and I can just see myself in 20 years' time. Do you know that sort of thing? You can kind of see the generations go through, like, holy shit. So it made sense for Cian Hodder to play his own, his character's father.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoyed it, but yeah, even at the start when they're in the boat trip, like what they've done well with this, you're actually invested in the story before Victor actually appears.
Oh yeah. Well, and even
Even the
before that,
mishap.
like the trip going there, it's the funniest goddamn thing that just completely takes you off guard. Where they get on the scare bus, and it's just goofy, like children's camp music, like what you would envision like a summer camp movie. They're
Mm-hmm.
on the bus, they're singing, they're having fun, and that's the background music that's going on. It's like it makes you comfortable with the characters, makes you comfortable with the setting, just so that when that first scare happens, it fucks you up.
Yeah, and that's my argument with slashers. That one thing they do wrong with slashers is they have them like fall over, like Guess Who, they just plank over, and you have no personality just because they want to focus on the action side of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you have an action movie and everyone's wearing a face mask, so they can just knock down. You don't have any investment in it. The henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. It's just annoying. It's okay doing it once or twice, but when they do it for every movie and it's so obvious, and they do it with slashers that every character is unlikable because they just want to get them out of the way quickly as possible, and you're missing the point. You wouldn't have to focus as much on the effects if you just had a bit of characterization. That stuff's cheap.
Right.
And then when the death happens, you've got an impact. And there's nobody actually unlikable in this.
No, because like even the unlikable ones, there's you're still you still want them around. You want to see them survive.
Yeah, because they're actually, like, even the wee guy that's doing the tour, he just came down from Detroit. He's taking an opportunity. What's he doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, he's doing nothing wrong. He's charging. He's not ripping people off in a sense. You know what I mean? Charging
Well,
to
I
go
mean,
there. How many tours have you been on where you pay out sort of money and it's disappointing anyway? Oh, did you see that thing? Have you seen that news article with the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow?
oh yeah, yeah, man, that was some shit. Like, I wouldn't be asking for
Holy
my money back. I'd be punching somebody in their fucking throat. I would get my money's worth.
Now that's ripping people off. That's taking the
Mhm,
piss. That's like, what the hell's going on here? But this wasn't this wee fella. He even had the boat. It all
mhm.
started up.
See, and
So
I've done the Honey Island Swamp tour before, and yeah, that's a pretty good price, $40.
mhm. So there you go. I love that scene. Yeah, can you swap me? Why can you not afford it? No, I'm just not paying for this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking, you'll do me, mate.
Yeah, no, that's a true believable friendship right there.
Yeah,
Like, begrudgingly goes with him, but bitches the whole fucking time. But of course he's gonna be there because it's his friend, and they're
yeah,
there for his friend ultimately.
yeah, because he knows he's going through shit, and
Mhm,
that's it. But you're getting abused along the way, and that's people need more of that.
mhm.
I think that's a problem today as well. There's so many like fake digital friendships that everyone's always patting each other in the head, and then it becomes like a dopamine fix, and then it becomes addictive. And then when they don't get the dopamine fix, that's where they don't get any satisfaction, and that's where they get into more trouble. Where that old school sort of mates taking the piss and bitching and like, get over this, fucking pick yourself up, man. You know, that sort of stuff. That is cathartic.
Yeah, and honestly, it's more helpful than people just kissing your ass the whole fucking time. Like, be real.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's probably one of the biggest problems with kids these days. Like, you know, as that grumpy old man, it's nobody knows how to take a fucking joke, and nobody knows how to take somebody down a peg without actually being a right out cunt about it.
Yeah. There's none
It's
of
like
that
fucking you
balance.
walk into my shop. That's all it is for 9 hours a day, is all of us just talking shit on each other. And it's funny. Everybody's laughing. Like, it's a good time. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. That's banter. You know, it's the closest friends. That's the ones that banter with each other.
Yeah.
But and you actually see this once again. This is good characterization. You see these friendships, and bloody hell, why not? And the two girls are brilliant. Like they fucking hate each other. Misty, like I did not expect to like her as much as I did.
Yeah, she's definitely one of those characters where it's like, God, she's terrible. Like the first time you see her, you just want to choke her. And then towards the end, like right before she's off ultimately, it's like, oh, I don't want her to die.
Yeah, she reminded me of Callie Bundy out of the Married
Yeah,
with
I
Children.
can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I just she knows what the character knows what she is, if that makes sense. And once again, there's no harm in her. Just you know, I mean, she just is what she is.
Yeah.
So, what the hell? What you know, I mean, you can have a bit of sympathy. You know, they don't have the mental capacity to think beyond. You know, like I think they're never gonna be a philosopher or anything, or you know, they're always going to be that. And when their looks fade, they're obviously in trouble. You know what I mean? But that's once again not a bad person. You can have sympathy, and that's I miss that with characters. Like it's
I
not
was gonna
hard to
say
do.
that's something you really don't see anymore. It's like it always has to be like the smart, strong, independent female, and it's like that's great. We love seeing that dynamic, but at the same time, that's not everybody. There are people that are just straight up fucking worthless or stupid, and that's fine. Like you need the whole spectrum of people to have this lovely rainbow called society.
Yeah, but that's and even now the like women character are always snarky. Like they're never a nice person that you want to like spend time with. They're always horrible and snarky and sarcastic. You know, not even good sarcastic, but you know, always bitching. And it's like, why?
Yeah, it's like
Where's that
you're
endearing
not
to someone?
making me like the character.
Yeah, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's that one with the eyebrows. Like I literally cheered when she got her end.
Right.
I'm like, yes, because I was getting in. Don't you fucking survive? Don't you fucking survive? Whoa! Oh shit! Ow, that was silly.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting. Now, Mary Beth, she was as close to Mary Sue as you're going to get. She was falling into that trope. However, it's you know where people get edgelords wrong because they don't. The edgelord is moody and that because they're a broken person, and then later on, like anime do it really well. You have the edgelord character, and then eventually, as you get to know them, you realize why they're that way, and then they have the redeeming moment. I kind of felt that's the way Mary Beth was. Like she could have been the Mary Sue, the edgelord character, you know, and done badly, but the initial coldness that, and then eventually we find out that she's just worried sick about her father and brother. And, you know, then we see that the other side of her, which then you had sympathy for her too. That could have easily, like, if that was written today, she would have been completely the first scene in the bus, like, she would have been that the whole way through the movie, and you just like, meh.
Yeah, because there's it never seems to be layers of character with modern characters, and it's a shame. Like, that's not real life.
Yeah, and let's see see her character arc. She's just there to get on a bus. She doesn't give a shit about anybody. She's not even there for a tour. It's just because she knows he's going in the part of the swamp where her dad and brother went.
Yeah, like she
And
said,
just
it's cheaper to do this than to rent a boat.
yeah, and that's straight away. There's her whole character arc,
Mhm.
and then as shit hits the fan, we get to see who she is, and I was cool with that.
Mhm.
Why can't the right characters have got anymore? Why is that so hard?
Right. Yeah, I don't get it.
However, how many mags did she have for her pistol?
Oh, all of them.
Did she have an Arnold Schwarzenegger mag?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sylvester Stallone mag? Because she emptied the clip the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and then the plot device, obviously for plot reasons, she didn't have any rounds, and then for the plot again, she had more.
Yeah, man. I mean, she wore a jacket. Jackets have a lot of pockets, so whatever. It's believable.
just that was sort of the only funny bit. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see as well. Like I was talking about the sets and the camera work. Like the camera work is just beautiful. Like the actual scene. You just got that whole vibe and the crystal clarity. Like you see a lot of movies now, and I always say you start off with a drone shot, you're in the shit because it goes from like beautiful drone shot to like grainy, shitty movie. And this is about the same budget as most of those movies. It's not as if this is a Hollywood, production. This is straight to DVD type thing.
Yeah, this had a theatrical.
Did it?
Yeah.
Not over here.
Well, yeah, not over there.
Yeah, it must have just been limited release or something.
Yeah, it was a really small release, but it did have a theatrical run.
Yeah, this is straight to DVD over here. So it wasn't really talking to you that I even heard about it. It's one of them ones that just went well under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
But say the thing is, it's still holding up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this isn't one I heard about until it was probably after the second one came out. So, but it happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like any other great horror film, it usually ends up finding its audience later on down the road and becomes a cult classic versus, just killing it in theaters.
Yeah, and that's, what? It gives it more longevity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's going to say in there? Yeah, there was. Look it up on YouTube in the videos. There's kids crying and all sorts. I mean, proper
it's fucking miserable. Like, if hell exists, I'm pretty sure the person that organized that is going to go to hell just because of the amount of kids that cried.
Yeah, that would be a horror movie in its own sense. Like the Willy Wonka experience. In fact, I can't wait for Willy Wonka to reach the public domain because that has to be the backdrop for a Willy Wonka horror movie. Is that shitty,
right?
Like knockoff event in the warehouse, and then the ghost of the Oompa Loompas come to take revenge for being disrespected.
Yeah, man, that poor lady, man.
Oh, the one that played. God. Oh God, she was hating life.
Yeah, it's like she looked like she knew what the fuck was going on and was just like, well, I'm here. I got to do this.
So did the guy playing Willy Wonka himself. He was just like, I hate my life. Yeah. And he wouldn't go. He hid in the car during his break because he couldn't face the kids crying.
It's understandable.
And you're like, bloody hell, dude.
Especially for that much fucking money, man. Like I've done shit like that where I've gone to like just little tiny random conventions around here, and they want a lot of fucking money. Then you walk in expecting this fully immersive experience, and it's not. It's just like every other fucking dumb convention. Just there's a couple of signs that make it that theme. That's miserable.
Yeah, I was like, come on. It's like some of those, those continental markets with the caravans. If they're done badly, it's awful. But if at least looks a bit traditional, we know it's a bunch of stalls just lined up. But if it at least looks a bit, you don't mind, you go with it. Yeah, that'd be fun. Chill game, Chocolate Factory. Yeah, base it on this. Base it on whoever created that event, because that's that would just be it, and then accidentally, I don't know, creates a ritual, opens a portal or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, here's the thing. Did Adam Green put his name on one of the crypts? I forgot to pause.
Yeah. But
didn't they?
you,
I
you
didn't.
know he's in the movie, right?
I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, he's in the movie. He's one of the guys
I'm
with
not
Philip
familiar
David
with him.
Moore.
You know what I mean? It's only through you that I've
Yeah.
kind of know. I'm not. He's not
But
somebody.
yeah, no, that's the thing with Adam Green. Like he puts everybody in it, including himself. So like he's in it, the producer's in it, the fucking DP's in it, his wife, well, his ex-wife was in it. Like everybody he knows that could be on set was on set on screen.
But that's the kind of vibe you got from this anyway. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, let's all jump in, make a movie, and be part of
Well,
it.
and
Let's
that's
see.
literally what this was. This was like as close to a guerrilla set as could be done at this budget level.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel cheap. That's the
Mhm.
amazing thing about it. It does not. This does not feel like a cheap movie.
Well, and it's amazing as you go through the franchise too, because like they got fucked royally, like beyond fucked, like still getting fucked actively. And the last movie came out in 2018. But yeah, like each film as the production goes on is a smaller and smaller budget, but none of them feel like it.
Yeah, but that's. But studios annoy me. Honestly, they're arseholes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If a studio came along that broke that trend, God, you'd get some amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as well with the horror genre, it kind of needs a wee bit of that. Not too much of it, but a bit of that. I think a horror movie with a bloated budget becomes sanitized.
Mm-hmm.
You need that. That's kind of the spirit of creativity with horror creators, is that having to build things off a shoestring. So I can understand a bit of it, but if something's doing well, fucking reward people. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you think that's how it would work?
Yeah, not well, I've found out, in my own personal experience with work, I find out it's not the case. Oh,
Right.
you're trying. Oh, I'm gonna screw you more and let the lazy
Yeah, of
bastards
course.
just fucking crack on. Right. Cheers.
Mhm.
And then somebody, Colin, why do you keep quitting jobs? Let's think about the pattern.
Right. What's the common denominator? It's
Yeah.
not me.
I have never been fired from a job for not performing.
Mhm.
I've never actually been fired for a job. I've never been fired from a job. Full stop. And definitely never been fired for not performing. That's not
Mhm.
my issue. My issue is fucking getting shafted and getting sick of it. And then as you get older, you're like, no more. But
Mhm.
that's unfortunately the problem with people that are creative and do a good job. Oh, you didn't need much of a budget, so you don't even need as much this time. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. We're gonna ring you to you're broken, and then wonder why something fails.
Yep. Or wonder why the next sequel isn't out yet.
But I really love that graveyard.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful set.
And we haven't even talked about the kills because honestly, they were just part of the plot.
Some of the greatest kills, period.
And yet,
Like Miss Primadio, her death is so fucking good, especially because it's all done in camera. Just some real simple editing tricks, but it's fucking great.
yeah, I love the way as well that they do that. You know why some of these are so slow? Like not in this movie, but slasher movie, the kills are so slow because obviously, if you do things at full speed in front of the camera, it doesn't look well. But the way he done the editing, that he actually made things speed up, like twisting people's heads off and stuff. But the edit that he just moves that wee bit faster, and I'm like, brilliant, so clever.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Victor Crawley hiding about in the shadows for like half the movie. Like when he appears, that's it.
Yeah, because I mean that's the character. Like he wouldn't necessarily hide. I mean that kind of changes as things go on, but that's for a different discussion. But yeah, no, he's a fucking ghost, and he's not a fully there mentally ghost. So yeah, why would he hide? He would just be full send, just out and decimate.
Yeah, and that was like just a whirlwind ride, but you also had enough pauses for breath. Like the pace, the pacing of this is brilliant. Like the entire movie, like you don't feel like they spend quite a bit on the intro, but you don't feel like it's time wasted
No, not at all.
because you're in it gets you into the world, and then when the kills start, even between them, there's enough pacing that you're still getting to see the character's reaction,
Mhm.
and as they start getting thinned out, the desperation appearing.
Yeah.
And like I said, that has more impact when you've actually grown to like a character. Then you're like, oh shit, that I was
Yeah. I
hoping they
mean,
were going to make it.
that's the thing. It's not always 100% necessary with slashers because, of course, that's what we go into slashers for, is to see the deaths. But it does definitely help if you like the characters and you don't necessarily want to see them die.
Yeah, because
Someone forgot to
that's
turn
the
off the phone.
impact.
Sorry.
Right.
Playing some Hatchet 2 for you guys, apparently.
But yeah, just the pace in this as well just was nicely went along, and you know why a lot of slashers will waste a lot of time again, then it's just like boom, 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 and you've no time to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
This was giving those little bits in between that, oh shit, they're gone, are they gone? They don't know. The sort of chaos, the confusion
Mm-hmm.
as it all happens, and yeah, I don't absolutely ride, absolutely blast going along with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's just, again, it's a popcorn movie. It's so fucking great.
Yeah, but once again, it shows that you can have a popcorn movie that's got longevity and actually a bit of effort put into it.
Oh yeah.
So it is possible.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like the confidence that he had in himself when he was making this, Adam Green, of course, is who I'm talking about. With that ending, like just that abrupt black ending.
Yeah.
Like that was him going, yeah, I've got sequels lined up. They're gonna happen.
And even if it didn't, this works well as a standalone movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze now. I'm doing well today. But yeah, all in all, I had a really great time. Loved it. Got on board. It's a slasher flick, but it's still got enough depth in it without trying too hard that you're invested. No, great. I'm looking forward to seeing what the sequels are like.
Oh man, I really cannot wait for you to watch them. I'm so excited. Like
Absolutely.
it's something that gets better and better like as it goes on. Like especially as you delve into the lore of Victor Crowley, get more of the backstory, like with him and his dad, their interactions. Like it gets so good.
Excellent. There you go. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Glad we got this to cheer ourselves up because yeah, there has been some planned shit out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun that we have to go back almost 20 years to have something that's fun.
It's bad, you know what I mean? I hope the pendulum's going to swing. And if it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen in horror. Because yeah, horror's kind of got caught up in the last 2-3 years with all the cultural nonsense and kind of drunk that Kool-Aid, so to speak, and it's suffered. But the thing about horror is it's self-aware, and
yeah,
we're always the weirdos and nerds, and eventually balance will find itself, and it's only a blip in the radar in terms of the genre, where we're watching other genres absolutely tanking and getting destroyed, where just a blip, and we'll get back to where we're meant to be again. But there you go. That was cool. What else we got coming up? We need to do another Sunday, something random.
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be in the cards. I think we need to get Stephen Chris on again, do another one of those because that was something along those lines because that was a blast. But yeah, later on tonight I've got Lee Rozelle on doing an interview, so independent author. So I'll be back on later on tomorrow. Internet willing, because apparently Steve had a telegraph pole knockdown, which is messing things up.
Oh shit!
But we'll be doing the Quatermass experiment and starting on the Hammer Horror series of movies.
Hell yeah!
So that'll be fun, and as usual, loads of stuff happening. So just as I say, keep up to date with the channel, do the typey clicky things, and until next time, keep it creepy,
keep it
horrific.